Okay, so we got new Dogmatica, branded, Fallen of Albaz support, and I don't know who designed this, but I want the kind of stuff that you were. We're gonna mainly focus on the Albaz because obvious reasons. I have not even decided what to do with the synchro, but the Albaz is so absurd that I have to actually talk about this. So, Fallen of the White Dragon. First of all, the most important thing is this card is always treated as a Fallen of Albaz, which means it's also treated as a deck in graveyard, in banishment, whatever. This is always treated as Fallen of Albaz, which also means you can only play uh, two copies if you're playing the normal Fallen of Albaz. It's the same thing as like Cyber Dragon. Um, you can use the first and second effect of this card each turn. If this card is in your hand, can send one monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz from your extra deck to the graveyard. Special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except level 8 fusion and synchro monsters. This lock is irrelevant, by the way, because we're playing Branded or we're playing Dogmatica, which either means we're not summoning from the extra deck or we're summoning level 8 fusion monsters from the extra deck. The second thing that this thing does is if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one Ecclesia monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Um, this is extremely absurd due to this card being named Fallen of Albaz. To show you how absurd this is, I wanted to show you what cards all can tutor out this Fallen of Albaz and by extent Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous. So Fusion Deployment can summon this because this is always treated as Fallen of Albaz. Because it's always treated as Fallen of Albaz, you can show a Titanic Ladder or whatever just to summon this from your deck. Second thing is, because it mentions Fallen of Albaz, you can activate Branded and High Spirits, sending a card from your extra deck to the graveyard to search this guy to special summon this guy from your hand, which is absurd. And then you can also use Nadir's Servant to send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to add one Dogmatica monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck or graveyard to your hand with attack equal or less. And the last card is Incredible Ecclesia actually tutors this out, which in return is tutored out by Fallen of the White Dragon, which is really dumb. And now I want to just show you what one Nadir Servant does with this card. So, did you ever want to see how to go plus? So, this is without playing around Drool. I'm going to show you how to play around Drool with this card, okay? I have not even remotely discovered how many stupid things you can do, but it is absurd, and this is probably going to be the chase card of the next set in Burst Protocol. So, Nadir Servants send Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalus 2 to search Fallen of the White Dragon. Fallen of the This then triggers Bucephalus 2 to send Stigmata Devouring Dragon. Then we can special summon Fallen of the White Dragon to send Albion the Branded Dragon for cost to summon this because this sends for cost because it's fair. Um, and then can special summon an Ecclesia with its unsummon effect. We didn't even normal summon yet. Now Ecclesia is allowing us to search for a Dogmatica monster or a Dogmatica card, so we can search Dogmatica Maximus. Now we can special summon Dogmatica Maximus by banishing Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalus 2, which we conveniently sent to the from the extra deck to the graveyard, which is a free banish. So we already have two trigger effects. The next thing we can do is activate Maximus's on field effect to send, a Titanic Clad and a Despian Luluvallilith. If you're playing Branded, you could send something else, but now look at the end phase, what we're getting in the end phase. We're getting a Fleur-de-Lis off of Stigmata Devouring, or the dragon that devours the the Dogma. The TCG name is absurd. We're getting another Fleur-de-Lis off of Titaniclad. We're getting our Albion to set ourselves the Fallen and the Virtuous. And we're getting ourselves Despian Luluvallilith to special summon a Blazing Cartesia from our deck. And this is off of one card. And now Want to see the same card but under Droll and Lockbird? If we were playing around Droll, we play it completely differently. So here, so we activated Nadir Servant, sending Despy and Lulu Valil instead of Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalos 2. Now we can special summon Fallen of the White Dragon by sending Albion the Branded Dragon. Then we can activate its summon effect, and instead of summoning Dogmatic Ecclesia, we're summoning Incredible Ecclesia. In the end phase, we again get trigger effects. So we get to set the Fallen and the Virtuous, and we get to special summon Blazing Cartesia of the Virtuous, which means on field we already have a fusion summon with Blazing Cartesia and Fallen of the White Dragon into a Mirror Jade or whatever you want to summon, and we have Incredible Ecclesia, which can tutor out a Fallen of the White Dragon, which then gets to summon ourselves a Dogmatic Ecclesia, which then gets to search ourselves a Fleur de Lis, which is another disruption. And this is again off of Nadir's Servant. And and this also works off of Branded and High Spirits. It works off of opening Incredible Ecclesia into a board. Konami, why did who designed this card? I love you. The second card is the Synchro Dragon. Uh, so this is called Ecclesia the Black Dragon. So it's an extra deck Ecclesia monster, which is relevant for the Fallen and the Virtuous if you ever summon this. Level 8 Light Spellcaster Synchro Effect Mon. 2500, 2500. Requires 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner. Plus 1 plus non-tuner. So technically, you could summon this in Dogmatica, or you could summon it in White Forest or whatever. Or you could summon it in Sword Soul if you wanted. During the main phase, quick effect, you can banish this card until the end phase, and if you do, special summon one Fallen of Albaz or one level 4 or lower monster that mentions it from your deck or graveyard. So you can summon Cartesia with those. And also, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one level 8 fusion monster in your graveyard and or banishment, and one card on the field, shuffle both and this card into the deck. So this is your Psyframe Lord Omega uh, replacement. So if you don't want to run Omega, you can run this card, which is really cool because this is actual disruption then. But Omega is still pretty important. So now let's go into deck. I have barely done any deck building, but this is what you could technically build out of this. We have a million billion starters. Branded Fusion is basically just Affate, and yeah, this is kind of absurd because, as said, Fusion Deployment tutors it out, High Spirits tutors it out. There's probably a way to tutor it out with Branded Fusion. I have not even delved into the combos with Branded Fusion. We can finally cut Vanilla Fallen of Albaz if we wanted to, even though it might be worth it to play like one copy of those, just so we can have the Super Poly effect. But yeah, it's absolutely absurd and custom, and thank you, Konami. Um, I have never dreamt of a card as good as the Fallen of the White Dragon, simply because it's treated as Fallen of Albaz. Thank you for my TED Talk, if you're listening to my TED Talk. Let's hope that Dogmatica now becomes meta. Yeah.